All right, let's just get right into it. From the moment we start chasing a goal, we're taught one thing: hustle, push harder, work longer, force it to happen. But what if that whole way of thinking, that entire hustle culture mindset, is actually built on a fundamental misunderstanding of how things really work? Today, we're going to explore a totally different approach: the physics of allowing.
It all kicks off with this little whisper in the back of our minds. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's shouting, but that one single thought, "you don't have it yet," that's what fuels the struggle, right? It sets up this idea that what we want is over there and we're over here, with this huge gap of effort and struggle in between.
And here is the big, mind-bending question we're digging into. What if the constant striving, that white-knuckled grip we have on our goals, is actually sending the exact opposite signal we want to send? What if it's broadcasting to the universe that we are living in a state of lack? It's a pretty wild idea, but it might just change everything.
So to really get this, we have to look at the energy behind what we're doing. See, it's not so much about the action itself, but the state of being you're in while you're taking the action. And this is where that whole try harder philosophy starts to completely fall apart.
Okay, check this out. Biologically, when we're stressed, anxious, and trying to force an outcome, our body literally flips into survival mode. Think fight or flight. Our energy is all over the place, our heart is pounding, our focus narrows down to just the threat. In that state, you're not wired to create a new future. You're wired to survive the present moment. Creation, on the other hand, that comes from a totally different place, a place of calm, coherent, and relaxed energy.
So here's the bottom line. When you're stuck in that survival mode, desperately wanting something because you feel the pain of not having it, you are sending out what you could call a vibration of lack. The universe, or the quantum field if you prefer, doesn't really hear your words, like, "I want more money." It feels the energy behind them, which is basically screaming, "I don't have enough money."
And this right here is the key to the whole thing. Your state of being, that mix of your thoughts and your feelings, is the actual request you're sending out. It's not about wishing for something. It's about embodying the energy of the reality you want to experience right now. The field isn't some cosmic vending machine where you put in a wish and get a result. It's a mirror. It just reflects back to you who you are being.
Okay, so if forcing and struggling just backfires, what's the right way to do it? Well, it's about learning to speak a whole new language. Not the language of force, but the language of creation, which is all about frequency.
So part one of this equation is your thought. This is the blueprint, your clear intention. It's you getting super clear on what it is you want to create. This is the language of the brain, and it sends an electrical signal out into the field. But here's the absolute game changer: the feeling. That's the language of the body. This is the magnet. It's the elevated emotion that actually draws the experience to you. It's one thing to think about being wealthy. It is a whole other universe to actually feel wealthy.
And when you put those two together, a crystal clear thought with a powerful elevated emotion, bam, you've just created a coherent electromagnetic signature. That's your signal. That is you being the person who already has what you desire. You're not broadcasting lack anymore, you're broadcasting wholeness.
A great way to think about this is like a tuning fork. When you strike a tuning fork, another one nearby that's tuned to the exact same frequency will start to vibrate all on its own, without anything touching it. Your job isn't to go out and build that new reality brick by painful brick. Your job is to become the first tuning fork, to tune yourself, relax into the frequency of what you want, and then just allow the universe to resonate with you.
And hey, if you ever doubted just how important the feeling part is, get this. This is wild. The human heart generates an electromagnetic field that is up to 60 times stronger than the brain's. 60! That's why just thinking positive thoughts often falls flat. The feeling, the language of the heart, is what truly turns up the volume on your signal.
So this all sounds great, right? But how in the world do we actually do it? How do we go from that tense, stressed out state of forcing to this open, relaxed state of allowing? Okay, let's get practical.
Here are 4 really simple but incredibly powerful practices. First, just breathe. Slow, deep breathing is the fastest way to signal safety to your nervous system and pull it out of survival mode. Second, practice stillness. Seriously, just 5 minutes a day of not doing anything, just being. It lets your energy settle down and your signal get clearer. Third, feel gratitude for your future before it even shows up. This literally teaches your body what it feels like to already have it. And finally, embody that new version of you. Don't wait. Ask yourself how the version of you who already has what you want would think and feel, and then just start being that person today.
And let's be super clear about something. This isn't about being lazy or just giving up on your goals. No way. Relaxation, in this context, is an incredibly active, deliberate choice. It's the conscious act of taking your hands off the wheel, pulling your energy out of the struggle, and creating the space for something new and better to flow in.
And what happens when you really start to live this way? It leads to this huge shift in your identity. You stop seeing yourself as the doer who has to muscle everything into existence, and you start becoming the receiver who is aligned and ready for what's already making its way to you.
Let me give you an analogy that makes this so simple. Online shopping. When you align your thoughts and feelings, when you send out that clear, coherent signal, you have officially placed your order with the universe. You clicked, buy now.
I mean, seriously, do you? Of course not. You don't stay glued to your computer, hitting the order button over and over. You don't run out of the house and chase the delivery truck down the street, screaming for your package. You trust the system. You know it's on its way. Trying to force and control your desires is just as ridiculous.
And this visual really says it all. You have two postures. The closed fist, that's control, force, scarcity. It's the frantic energy of, I have to get it, which just screams, I don't have it. And then you have the open hand. That's trust, allowing, receiving. It's the calm, confident knowing that says, it's on its way. One posture blocks, the other invites.
So why does trust work so much better? Well, a few reasons. Trying to control everything is, by definition, an energy of lack. All that micromanagement just introduces a ton of static that messes up your signal. And frankly, the universe needs a little space and non-resistance to rearrange things for you. Your job isn't to figure out the how. Your only job, after you place the order, is to get ready for the what.
So let's leave it with this one final thought. And I really want you to let this one sink in. That state of relaxation, of deep trust, of allowing, that is not the break you take before you get back to the hard work of creating. That state is the work. It's the act of creation itself. It is the ultimate proof that you trust so completely that you no longer need to see it to believe it. And that feeling, that is the most powerful and magnetic frequency there is.